Alright, so Elvis Presley Boulevard is down that way. This is Brooks Road. Travel Lodge. Turn right here in the Travel Lodge. It's 1471 Brooks Road. That's where you can meet Jimmy Velvet and Keith Alverson and see all the cool pictures that Keith and Jimmy have to offer. Jimmy Velvet knew Elvis. Come visit him. I highly recommend this place for Elvis Week. So I'm at the Travel Lodge here on Brooks Road. You can come and visit Keith Alverson. Check out his great photos. They also have Elvis Collector Show, free admission. So make sure you come in here and see all of the great collections of Elvis Presley. You never know what you're going to find. And there's Jimmy Velvet. Yeah, that's a great picture of y'all, man.
Oh, thanks.
Where was this captured at, Jimmy?
It was in 1956 in August in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, Florida? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I'm friends with the spot guy.
Oh, yeah, he lives where I live, in Hendersonville.
He lives in Hendersonville. There's Tennessee Ted over here, the mayor of Graceland, Jimmy. Yeah. So look, here's Tennessee Ted. And Mr. Jimmy Velvet.
How y'all was?
We're doing good.
My glasses are steaming up in here.
I didn't know I was going to run into you here, Jimmy. Is this your table?
Yes.
Okay, so they can come and visit you at the Travel Lodge.
They can. They need to. I need to not have to lug all this back.
Exactly. So I'll promote you. I do an Elvis show every day for Elvis Week.
Oh, I didn't
So
know.
I'm gonna let the fans know what's going on. So Jimmy, tell a little bit about the stuff that you have that you're offering to sell here.
Well, there's a lot of the Elvis stuff that I've had in the museum for years, and we've, of course, closed those museums when we had our auctions there in 95, 6, and 4. 94, 5, and 6.
Hold your thought there, though, Jimmy, because I wanted to ask you something. You started the first museum across from Graceland, right?
I did. Yeah, it was really great.
With Vernon.
Right, Vernon. Well, he gave me his blessing. So.
That's amazing,
We
man.
were good friends, which was unusual probably for Vernon, but he did, and we did well, and we represented him well. But we had like 21 items in there. It was all.
Well, okay, so some of the first items, what did you have?
Oh gosh, we had everything from jewelry to his dance briefs, he called them. I call them underwear. but this one lady came in one day and she paid $1 to come in the museum, is what we were charging in those days. And she said, "When I take this picture on 3, right?" So she's holding the underwear here. She said, 1, 2, 3, and she put them over her head.
Wow.
Elvis fans are their own way. I know I've been a part of that for so many years, and I've just thoroughly enjoyed the people.
Yeah, but the best part about you, Jimmy, is like I just showed, you actually knew the guy. So tell me an Elvis story. Could you share me something?
Gosh, they're all been told, I think. As everyone has said, he's the most generous person in the world, and he had a fierce temper. But he never would say I'm sorry, but he'd buy you a new car or something the next day. He just had so many ways that he was pranks he loved to pull, like dumping flash bulbs, and he'd send us all out finding flash bulbs all over Memphis and take them, dump them in the pool, and then we'd all stand around the pool and start shooting at night, in the dark. But if one of them's flash went off because it got hit, Elvis would claim he's the one that took it, even if he was the other end of the pool. He had to win, but that was the fun part of him, and he was genuine.
That's what all the friends say. Anyone that knew him all say the same thing about just how caring the guy was.
He was extremely so. This thing won't stay up, not won't stay down.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, you were working it. Hey, we all been wearing those masks, so.
Got to these days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think I saw a picture, if I'm not wrong, maybe I am wrong, but of you and Gladys.
Oh, sure. There's several.
You got to spend time with her.
I did. She was a wonderful lady. She's actually pictures number 13 and 14, I think.
Let's check it out. Yeah.
folks.
Oh, yeah. So guys, while Jimmy looks, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that you could buy here. Here's Elvis and Jimmy here. I'm not sure what year, probably in the 60s.
That was 60. It was in Nashville at RCA.
Oh, that's at RCA?
That's Gladys and I at Graceland.
So there is Jimmy with Gladys, Elvis's mother, out back of Graceland, I believe.
Yeah. And there's this one here with the Cadillac. Sir and I.
Wow, Jimmy. That's awesome, man.
No, he was awesome. She was awesome.
She was a good lady.
She was a good lady, yes.
How did she like her Cadillac?
She only drove it around a little circle up to the house a few times. Elvis with her, of course.
Elvis had to be with her.
Yeah, she wouldn't go without.
Man, that's amazing that you actually got to hang out with Elvis and Gladys and Vernon at Graceland.
Yes, and I spent a lot of time with Vernon through the years after she was gone. And we were just good friends. You know, Vernon was always good to me.
Yeah, you know, Vernon sometimes he gets a bad rap. And there's things that are said about Vernon, like, you know, he didn't like to work and all that kind of stuff. But who was the Vernon Presley that you knew?
I found him working all the time. When I first met him at Graceland, I was up at the house and I was with Gladys. We walked around the house and out front is Vernon with a mule plowing right in the front of Graceland. Planting with a mule, and he was down. And the pictures that day, unfortunately, I didn't see a need to photograph him with the mules.
I wish you captured that moment.
Me too. I've regretted it a million times. Let me see if I can find it.
There's DJ Scotty Moore, Bill Black with Jimmy Velvet, and I believe Elvis's guitar.
That's his guitar, and that was his jacket he gave me.
Oh, so you had that green jacket.
Yes, and when we got ready to leave, that was the arena in Philadelphia. When we got ready to leave that night, he said, "Where's your overcoat?" I said, "I don't have one." He said, "You'll catch your death," and he took this red plaid one off himself and gave it
Wow,
to
man.
me.
Wow.
He was that way. Well, I don't see that other picture. It doesn't mean anything. It's probably somewhere in one of these books.
So check out Elvis's guitar, and there's Elvis and Jimmy. You can buy this picture, and Jimmy Velvet, he'll be happy to autograph, I'm sure, for you.
Absolutely. And the prices are all down for that. I'm wearing the red one on top of it there.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
And I'm wearing it there with him.
Wow, man, yeah.
Can't very well deny that jacket too easy. Don't see it. Oh, wait a minute, maybe? No.
Yeah, that's backstage somewhere.
If that was Philadelphia.
That's Philadelphia, backstage?
Yes.
Yeah, you saw early Elvis concerts.
That's the offices out back. Oh, and you see the old gas pump here?
Where at? Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vernon had him remove that from there because Elvis had a ricochet and it hit the thing and it could have blown up the whole place.
Oh, he would shoot.
Yeah.
Back here, there's a gas tank.
Vernon used to come out, or the girls would come out and say, "Mr. Vernon, tell him to stop shooting," because he had a target in the side of the office building. He'd shoot right in the door.
Right. So guys, you know where this is. If you're at Graceland, you on the tour, you get to walk through those doors. But there was a gas tank right over here where the now it's like
a 10-gallon. You crank it up to 10 gallons or anything lower than that, and then you'd pump it out. It worked on gravity feed.
Wow.
They're the old
Jimmy.
ones in those days.
That's incredible, Jimmy. And
one of my daughters there.
Oh, that's your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's a great picture of her.
Oh, thanks. Oh, so many things mixed up in here.
the lottery and that's still dumpster diving. When I got working at the shop, the guys were nervous about me because I was the only female out of 77 down there. And 75% of the staff was...
You have some great pictures.
Oh, thanks. There's so many.
I'm going to try to, you know, fans, you definitely have to come out here and visit with this guy. And these pictures are incredible. And the stories that he has.
Still alive.
That Jimmy has.
Wearing my mask.
Yeah. We'll go keep you safe, Jimmy.
Hey, I'm 82 now. It's getting old.
You're 82?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't think that, man. I thought you were in your 70s.
Oh, I'm probably living. I'm probably in my 30s.
Yeah, you still get around good, everything.
I do these go back on there? Or,
Yeah, I think you took these out.
I'll just lay them out on the table and let
You had
people
those.
buy 'em if they want.
Because I laid that one out over here for you. So there is,
There you
but
go.
there's your daughter right here, right?
Oh, that's a different picture of her, yeah.
That's a great picture. Oh, and the bus is behind. Was that Elvis's?
That was one he chartered to come from Memphis to Nashville to record.
So where is this picture
See
at?
Joe
Nashville.
Esposito in here, and see Charlie Hodge over here.
Yeah, Charlie. There's Joe behind this guy right here in this picture, and Charlie over here
Bill
laughing.
Lamb, that was the drummer that played in some of the movies.
So this was at RCA.
I had $20.
This is Elvis and I in, I believe, New Orleans.
It's you and Elvis in New Orleans.
Well, he had his feet propped up on the wall, leaned back, you know, with his arms crossed. And he was talking to the Jordanaires, and I was just there. And I'm trying to think what the funny thing had happened. Well, that's part of the being 82. I forgot what the funny thing is.
When I leave, you're going to remember, right?
I will. It happens every time almost.
I'll have to come back and see you.
And anyway, he was, I swear, that's terrible on film, but that's the way life is. That's the way it is. That's the way it was. That's the way it's still going to be.
I can edit too, Jimmy, so I'll make you look good.
Hey, hey.
So, but that's in New Orleans. So,
Yes.
Do you remember June Wanico?
Yes, I know June. Been a lot of years. She's from Biloxi.
Yeah, she was this Biloxi girl. I'm fascinated with Biloxi, Mississippi, and I've enjoyed like learning about the places where she and Elvis stayed at and things like that.
Well,
but she was with him in New Orleans, I believe.
Oh
for
yes,
this.
she was. At the forgot the name of the hotel.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah, I filmed there. So did you get up in the room and stuff? Did you get to go?
I did. Yes.
What I learned about that, and maybe that jogs your memory, is he had to go up another building and come across to
They
the
had
room.
to had to crossway to walk, so they didn't have to go all the way down and back up again.
Was that right?
That's true.
Okay. I heard that, so you just confirmed it. Interesting. Yeah, Roosevelt's a nice hotel. Still is.
Yeah, and he stayed at the Roosevelt in Jacksonville also.
In Jacksonville, Florida. Wow. Now, when you opened that, I was going to ask you this, and then I'll let you go. But you had like a casino sign out front of your museum. Is that right? It was like a cool casino-looking sign for the museum there at Gracie. You remember that?
I can't remember. It was first called Elvis Mini Museum.
Okay.
Because it was small things, and then as we bought things and bought cars and various other things, it grew fast, and I bought a building down the street from Graceland, and we opened the museum as the Elvis Presley Museum.
And you just took off and grew.
Kept going, yeah, Memphis, then from Memphis to Honolulu to Orlando to Nashville, and then we kept two of them on the road touring, so it's quite nice. They're selling a jumpsuit that I used to own in the sale down at Tunica today, I think, or tomorrow. It's already up to $380,000.
Which jumpsuit was that?
That was one from Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and I sold that at my auction for $125.
What year did you do that?
94.
Oh man! So now they're go double.
Oh, way more than double.
Oh, good gracious, man! Dang, Jimmy. That's how it goes, though, isn't it? You just never know.
You know what? That's part of being in the business. You got to make some on some, and then at the time, it was a good price. Yeah. Looking back on it, I wish I'd have saved a couple of them.
Yeah, but like you said, you can't see into the future. You just can live in that moment, right, and enjoy it. You have enjoyed it.
I have.
And you've preserved Elvis's history and his true story since you actually knew the guy. And that's what I'm about, is the true stories of this guy, because as you know, there's so much false out there.
Oh, it is.
And Elvis would hate to have that out there, because he was such a fascinating guy.
He didn't like to have the bad things going on around him, and he could create enough of his own if he wanted to, because everybody loved him and he'd do whatever he asked.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I've got a, never mind, you know what, I'm going to stumble through it, so I'll do it later.
Well, I'll cut you off after this, but how long are you going to be here?
Through Saturday.
Through Saturday, so every day through Saturday they can come in and visit
11
you.
to 6.
11 to 6, so guys, Travel Lodge here on Brooks Road in Memphis, right down from Graceland. Jimmy Velvet, a friend of Elvis, of Gladys, of Vernon. He ran the first ever museum of Elvis Presley. He's going to be here selling great pictures and stamp collections.
And my book.
And his book.
Yeah,
Jimmy
and
has
my
a book.
CDs also.
Where's your book at?
Oh, they're everywhere.
He's selling his book too, so you have to come by.
1,090 photos, 508 different stars, includes a lot of Elvis. It's a real heavyweight book.
And you learn his true story of his friend, Elvis Presley.
And it sells for $50, but up until this is over, if someone orders it and mentions you, they get it for $35.
Did you hear it? You heard it from Jimmy. If you mention Globetrotting with Trey.
And if you need it shipped, it costs me about $10 to ship it, but I'll charge you $5, as long as it's U.S.
40 bucks. 40 bucks total
Delivered.
For that book, so you get
If
a
I
discount.
have to knock on the door myself.
How cool is this guy, guys? This guy is cool, so please come by here, visit, buy some his book from him, let him know that I sent you, and he gives you a discount.
There you go. God bless you.
All right, guys. So, how do you like that picture right there? I own that picture. To me, it's the coolest picture of Elvis, and you now can own it if you come and visit this guy right here. I'm going to let this guy introduce himself and tell him who exactly he is.
I'm Keith Alverson. I took a lot of photos of Elvis back in the 70s. You might have heard of me, or you might not. But I saw him about 70 shows, and I have 2 books just published in the last 2 or 3 years. 2,700 photos are in there. And we're up here in Memphis trying to make people happy.
Where are we at?
We're at the Travel Lodge on Brooks Road. I think it's 1471 Brooks Road in Memphis, about a mile north of Graceland. And we'll be open every day till Sunday 11 to 6. So come and see us, and he'll take some shots around the room and show you what we have. And then there's other rooms here too, so we got a lot of collectible items.
So I know you online, you sell the book that you just told me about. Could you pick one of those books up for me, Keith?
Yeah.
If someone that's watching this video would like to purchase this book right here, the Elvis, let's see, Strictly Elvis,
Volume 1.
Volume 1, how can they do that, Keith?
They can go on Facebook and pull up Keith Alverson, and I promote it there and sell it. It's $99.99, and it weighs about 7 pounds.
Yeah, it's a heavy book. How many pages is it?
This one's got like 480 in it. Volume 2 has about 430 pages.
This is Volume 2.
This is from 1976 to 77. First book was 73 to 75.
Right. So Keith, okay, so take me back in time, man. Take me back then. What made you decide to start taking pictures of Elvis?
Well, just a big fan since I was a kid. Saw all the movies, went to the drive-in theaters with the parents. And, saw him in '71 in Tuscaloosa, the first show, and didn't even have a camera. So we sat all the way across the arena, and he looked about this big. Wore a black suit, red cape, looked like Dracula.
I just went to Garrett Coliseum.
Oh, really?
And I filmed Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have to show you some pictures of that.
Yeah, and just went from there. I bought a camera in '73 and just started taking pictures for my own personal use. And people saw them, fan club meetings we'd go to, and they'd say, hey, can I buy those? And I said, well, I guess I can make reprints. And so it just went from that, you know, to selling them all over the world, overseas, all the countries. So it's just been a real roller coaster for me. I don't know what I'd done if it hadn't been Elvis in my life. He's just he changes so many people's lives the way they follow him around and collect all of his stuff, and it's amazing that it's been 44 years since he died. Yeah, and we're looking forward to next year for the 45th, and then the big 50 in 6 years. That'll be 50.
50 years.
So let's hope I'm here and you're here and
We're going to be here, kid.
everybody else. Stay healthy and wear that mask when you can. And we'll talk at you when you get here.
Well, I was going to ask you this. What kind of camera did you use back then to capture these great photos?
Just the Minolta 101, 35 millimeter.
So you taught yourself how to...
Yeah, I didn't go to any classes or anything. I had a big long zoom lens. They were all metal back then, so they were heavy. Now they're plastic and they're lightweight, but I'd hold that thing up for an hour and hardly ever put it down, because if you do, you're going to miss some of these shots that you can't get. You can't pull it up, snap it, and expect to get a great shot. You can't. It don't work that way. So yeah, I love talking to the fans, and anybody wants to come by and talk Elvis, I'm here.
You're here. Well, do you still have that camera?
Yeah. I got both of them. I had 2 cameras.
That's awesome, man.
In Montgomery, the one you just talked about, my first camera I had, I was around the backstage part taking shots because my seat was way up in the nosebleeds and I couldn't get anything there, so I just walked around for the time he was on stage. And I was back there and I turned around and this lady was running down through the aisle and she hit me and knocked my camera out of my hand. I didn't have it around my neck, hit the concrete floor, and it broke it. So I had to buy another one for the next tour coming up in '77. But yeah, need to wear that thing around your neck because you never know who's going to run into you at an Elvis concert.
What was your favorite concert?
Probably the Huntsville 2 shows in '75 because I had a front row, center seat, and I took the shots of him with the Indian feather suit and the Red Eagle, the Phoenix there.
This is in Huntsville?
Huntsville, '75. Yeah, that was the evening show. And the matinee was Indian suit. That was Huntsville the same day.
And that is a great picture, Keith.
So that's probably my favorite day of my life. Seeing 2 shows on the front row, 2 great looking suits.
How did you manage front row seats?
Got them in the mail. Sent them off on mail order. They were $10 each. And I remember going to the post office, my mailbox, and open it up, that little envelope, open them up, and it had row A. And I'm like, I didn't think it was first row. I just thought row A could be in the balcony or anywhere. So I called the number on the tickets and I said, hey, I got these tickets today. Can you tell me where my ticket is? And I told her, and she said, you said you were on the front row center, man. And I said, I got those in the mail. And she said, oh, you're very, very lucky to get those. So I had 3 front row seats for Huntsville. Sent them $30, got 3 front row seats. I never ever sat on the front row, ever. That was the only times I ever did. But it was great. And the stage was about as low as this table. I mean, it was super low, and I could touch the stage with my foot from what I was getting out of my seat. That's how close I was.
So that's how close Elvis was to you.
When I shot those 2 over there, the head shots.
Yeah, let's walk over there. We'll go look at it.
That's this one. This one over here. That's the matinee show.
In Huntsville.
Huntsville, Alabama. And when he came down to talk to these girls, I mean, I was as close to you as I am from Elvis Presley. I mean, his head filled the camera.
What a shot, man. Your camera was so great, man. That exposure and stuff. I mean, you had to be on your game.
Just a Minolta 101.
But you had to be on point for these
This one over
shows.
here was the evening show.
That was the what?
Evening show in Huntsville, the same day.
Man, I hope that lady, whoever he was talking to, knew about you and bought this picture.
I don't think I ever met her. But yeah, I mean, I had to almost back up on a 135 lens to get his head in there.
A 135
lens? That's how close it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was Indianapolis with the Tiger suit in '74.
Look at that Tiger suit,
And
yeah.
I shot, that was about the 10th row back. That was about 10 rows back.
Mr. Tiger right there.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite suits.
But yeah, but this was in Montgomery at the hotel that I stopped at.
Coming out of the garage. Yeah.
Man.
He just done a show, so his hair was messed up. He hadn't took a bath or anything.
Yeah, he just flew in from Orlando.
Yep, so that's probably, what, 2 or 3 hours after the show.
He had those long sideburns that time. Look at that, how long his sideburns were.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, you have some incredible pictures. And right now, you're going to be here all week at the Travel Lodge. So guys,
Travel Lodge, 1471.
If you're in Memphis, Tennessee, come and see Keith.
Thank you very much. Adios.
I come back and it's quieter, we might do it again.
Yeah, okay.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, you're welcome to do it anytime you want.
Say I'd keep that dog. When both of them,
Bad enough if you
I
find
mean, you know, there's
Exactly.
there's like 70 something years.
Yeah, this
old.
book's for Janice.
Anybody can fall.
Right.
Oh, just say the word and I can do it without trying.
So you autograph each book, right?
If they desire it, you know. If they don't want to, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, well, you are. You need to get up there by him and let me take a picture of you today.
This is for Janice.
This is for Janice.
And a little camera.
Look at him, Janice.
Oh my God, get out of here.
I don't even have on the Elvis t-shirt.
Well, Janice, why are you an Elvis fan?
Why?
Why?
Why
Because I
not?
saw him when I was 9 years old on Ed Sullivan, and I fell in love with him.
So you fell in love with him there on Ed Sullivan.
Oh, Lord, yes.
It's lasted a lifetime.
Yes, yes. And I came to Memphis when he died. I ran away from home. My husband said I was not going, and I went in his billfold and got his American Express card, and I called Atlanta Airport and got me a ticket on an Eastern Airline flight by myself. Now, I was out on the tarmac getting on the plane. I got on the plane, guess who was sitting on the front row? Myra Knott. So, we came to Memphis. So.
What was that like when you came to Memphis that day?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, you know, it was unreal. And we managed to get in the house. We got to walk by the casket and see him and everything.
You did see Elvis?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
You know, you kept moving, but it was just unreal just to be inside his house.
So tell me this, from your memory, when you went inside that day, how they had Elvis in the casket there, was it right in front of
Right in front of the steps, and there was red drapery. You know, before it was, you know, it was remodeled and changed after he died, but it was red drapery on each side of the foyer. And you couldn't see anything, you know, and you had to just keep moving.
So what I've learned is you had to look like from the end of the casket up to Elvis. Is that correct?
Right. And
Because
he
they didn't want you close to him.
You couldn't get close, you couldn't stop, and he just didn't look like himself. His sideburns looked shorter.
Right.
And, you know, what they had on him, a light blue shirt or tie, just didn't go with who Elvis was. And we stayed up all night talking about that wasn't him.
But it definitely was
It
him.
was him.
But, wow.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah,
it was an experience.
I bet it was. But you made it happen by getting on that airplane and running away.
I didn't want to go home.
Well, you're still here.
He didn't kill me. My husband didn't kill me.
We've only been doing this, what, 40-something years we've been
47.
coming.
Well,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
well, why are you an Elvis fan?
Because I used to change the channel for my daddy, but I wouldn't do it when I was 4 years old and Elvis came on. That was it. From then on, it was Elvis.
So just like her, you just fell in love with that.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had an effect on you ladies.
He did.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a fan, because that concert where he kissed like 42 women in 2.5, I counted them, 2.5 minutes on the lips.
Oh, gosh.
What other guy has ever done that before? I had to learn about the guy after that, Keith.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do the 42 in 2.5 minutes.
Well, the thing about it is, if you ever went and saw Elvis in person and listened to him sing, he had the whole audience in the palm of his hand. It wasn't just the ladies, it was everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Keith was probably at the concert.
Probably so.
I've got to record it. You don't have to record it.
No.
Because the fans love this stuff.
Okay, the first record I ever bought, I bought off TV. And it was one that you didn't prepay anymore. You paid when it came to the door. Well, I didn't tell anybody I ordered it, and I ordered it, came, and I had to run through the house and rob all of my brothers and sisters' piggy banks to pay for it, and then my mother beat me half to death.
Wow.
But I loved it. I can say, and I don't think I kept it. It was blue, and he was on the front, and it just said Elvis across the top.
It said Elvis across the top?
That was just Elvis in yellow. I can remember it, but I don't know where it is.
So how do you like Elvis Week?
I love Elvis Week. Not as much as a lot of people do, because I don't know as much history, but I do like it.
Well, you're going to start watching Globetrotting with Trey, and you're going to learn some history.
All right, sounds great.
That's what our videos are about, the real Elvis. The true stories.
The true stories.
Hey,
I was at the Huntsville.
You were at the Huntsville show. Well, tell me about that Huntsville show. How was that show to you?
It was awesome because that was the one and only time I got to see him. And my husband and 3 other people went. We had floor seats. We were not up front. But there was one lady that started at the back, and she'd run toward the stage, and the security would catch her, and she'd go back, and then she'd take another run and everything. And finally, she just passed out.
She just passed out?
Right, and they took her off. But it's an awesome trip to sit there and wait for him to come on stage, because they build your anxiety up with the pre-show things and everything. But he put on a wonderful show, and it's great to have seen him live. And when you grow up, like Janice said, we all started when we were young. My mother took me to see Love Me Tender when I was about 9 years old, and some more girlfriends. And when you grow up with him like that, then you get to see him on stage. That's an awesome feeling.
Do you remember that Love Me Tender movie, like how the crowd reacted to him on the movie screen? Did they like holler and scream and things?
Not really, because it was a lot of the mothers were not into it, where we were, the younger girls were, but we didn't do that because you were with your mother, because none of us drove or anything. But I have raised my sons and my grandchildren to like Elvis.
To like Elvis.
Right.
And you were at the Von Braun Center.
Correct.
In Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
I just covered that arena.
Right.
I got inside and filmed in there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna have an episode, and I'll probably include you in that episode.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
But you said he did a great show that night.
He really did. He did a great show, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think the comment my husband was, "I've never seen you look at another man quite like you looked at him."
And that goes back to why I'm a fan, because all the women left their husbands in that show and boyfriends to go kiss Elvis on the lips. And I had never seen that before. You know,
I didn't do that. So.
You didn't do that?
No, I did not do that. No.
You didn't. So you didn't get a scarf that night?
No, I did not get a scarf. But one of the other ladies that was there, she had grown up with him in Tupelo, and so we went around the back and watched him come out in the car and everything. So
do you remember? Okay, so that's because I went out back and filmed, and how I had it was that he came out of that entrance in the very back of the Von Braun Center.
Correct.
And I guess came back around.
Right, in the car. And people, and men and women were jumping on the car. And the reality hits you that if they got a hold of him, they'd hurt him.
Yeah.
Trying to take things from, like his rings and things like that, you know, they could have hurt the man.
Wow.
And so it was an awesome trip, you know, to do that. But she had grown up with him. She knew him in school before he moved to Memphis. So that was neat.
Is your friend still with us?
No, she's not.
Ah. But I'd love to capture her story.
She had some good stories, she really did.
What was her name?
Sherry Ramsey, I don't know her maiden name.
I'll never forget though, when that TCB gave me, he took me to Vegas. And he says, just keep your TCB out, people talk to you and all this, you just don't understand. So I'm out there and here come these weird looking people, I didn't know who they were, and I'm going like, I don't know these, and they were just really strange. And she looks at me and she says, you with Elvis, TCB? I said, no, ma'am. And she said, who are you? I'm a Tennessee choir boy. Because I didn't want them people hanging around me because I didn't know them, so I had to do something to get away. So I told them I was a Tennessee choir boy. And, you know, I could talk all night. You know, just so many different stories. And the first time I got to go on tour was fun. I'm sitting on tour, and you got the bodyguards on upstage, and we're sitting on this place in Boston that people could actually jump on the stage from their seat. I mean, that's how close everybody was. Anyway, so a couple guys were over there, and I was over here, and I see this lady, and Elvis is in the front over there. I see this lady jump on right here. He was up on that side. And I kept thinking, nobody's moving. And she's going to go straight up to Elvis. And she probably weighed, I guess, about 250, 260, and I was weighing about 140, you know, and I'm going like, surely one of the big guys are going to do their thing, you know? This is my first tour. Anyway, make a long story short, I run up there, and I hit her foot to hit her other foot, I hit her feet, and then I proceeded to roll her off the stage. This is true. I rolled her off the stage to Red and then right down there because I couldn't have picked this woman up. That's a true story. And I looked up, and Elvis never even knew anything had happened. But man, they were laughing so hard. Every one of those guys was laughing at me after that. That was my first tour, my first show with him. So, just go ahead, Billy.
All right, so a lot of things happen on tour. So Elvis introduced you now really before you were working for him. Mm-hmm. He introduced you in Las Vegas. Tell us about that.
Okay.
And there's audio of this, by the way. I've included it in a video. I'm sure you've included it in a video. Yes. But there is audio of Elvis actually introducing Dean.
We're walking through the Hilton kitchen. Okay, he's got his suit on. We're walking through the kitchen, and he stops in the middle, and he says, "What song can I sing for you tonight?" And you know, you ever heard that thing like being like a deer in headlights? You've heard of that, but I was really like a deer in headlights. I'm going like, man, I couldn't think of nothing. So I thought, Suspicious Minds, the only thing that came to me. So I didn't think nothing of it. So we get there. He sets me right in the front of the stage. And I'm going, okay, I had the best seat in the house. So I'm watching everything. Next thing I know, midway through, he stops. And he says, "Well, I'm going to sing a song tonight." He says, "I told this guy to sing a song for him. I got my racquetball instructor here." And I'm going, oh my God. So to make a long story short, he says, I can't remember his name. Was it Dean or is it Dino? I'm going like, I've been with you how long? How do you forget my name? So I looked up. Next thing I know, Elvis, he says, I told him I would sing Suspicious Minds tonight if he would take karate with me. Put a little white jumpsuit on. And I'm going like, that wasn't even part of it. You know? I'm thinking to myself. So make a long story short, he sings Suspicious Minds, and somebody sent me that. And you know, of him live doing that, which was pretty cool, because back then I would have never known how to get anything like that. So he was very spontaneous and you didn't know what he was going to do. You know? So that was pretty cool in Vegas. That was my first experience in Vegas. So it was cool.
And that's the name of our DVD. What's his name? Our stories around Memphis with Boss. Because that's what Elvis said on stage. What's his name? Dino?
I still can't believe now I forgot my name. You know.
Did he really forget it, or was he just messing with you?
I don't know.
He was messing with you.
He was playing.
Elvis always played.
He was just trying to make me feel. he knew how to get you, okay? And he got me, okay? But I got him back one night too, though, on the airplane. So we all had our times. We had good times.
All right, so tell us that story about on the airplane.
We were on the airplane, and the Lisa Marie. Yeah. We were on the Lisa Marie, and I was sitting in the cockpit. There's a little seat you could sit like a jump seat. And so anyway, we're going over Niagara Falls. And I got on that intercom, and I said, everybody look on the right. I tried to act like one of the pilots, so, you know, I could disguise my voice. And next thing I know, I said, if you look on the right-hand side, it's all lit up tonight. It's beautiful. Well, everybody on that airplane got up and looked, okay? All the guys, and it was pitch black. So the next thing I know, in the back, Elvis gets up and looks, and it's black. Well, I think he was with either Ginger or Linda, I can't remember. But I get this call back to the cockpit, and the guy says, I think this is going to be for you, because he knew. So anyway, Elvis gets me to go back there. As I'm walking back there, all the guys are like, man, you're in for it. You know, they're just giving me a hard time. So when I got to the very back, and Elvis just looked at me, and he said, damn, when you do that, you got to let me know so I don't look so stupid. I looked. That's just the way it was, you know. We had a lot of fun. It was more fun than anything, you know.
Dean, tell them your Mobile story. They're from Mobile. Tell them about you and your dad eating at that restaurant.
Well, we went to a place called Russo's back in the day.
Yes.
We went to Russo's. We went to the concert. Then we came back. We told Elvis we're going to eat. You know, he said, all right, come back. Let me know when you're back. So we went down there and ate. It smelled like fish, because you know how that is. We come back. Elvis looks at us. He smells. What's that smell? I'm going like, he hated seafood. So he smells it. He goes, Dr. Nick, you need to go take a shower. You need to go change clothes. He said, you smell just like him. Y'all need to go get cleaned up. He made us go take a shower and get cleaned up because of that. That's the best place to eat. That was a good restaurant back in the day.
Yes, Russo's. It was on the Causeway probably back whenever.
Was it 98? What was that little government boulevard? Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right
I know
up in
exactly
there.
what you're talking about.
I can see it. Like, and we were staying at that hotel right down there.
I'm trying to think of the name of the hotel that he used to stay at.
Was it a Hilton or a Sheraton?
I believe it was a Hilton.
I can
back
see it.
in the time frame.
There's a big pool. They had a big pool there.
On my iPad.
Well, you're awesome. I sure hope so.
I can. This is Kyle.
Hey there, how you doing?
And why are you an Elvis fan?
God, I can't really answer. Hold on.
All right,
Wait,
whenever you're ready. Whenever she's ready.
Honestly,
yeah.
Okay, when I first became an Elvis fan, it was mostly because I thought he was gorgeous. Okay, but then I learned a little more and watched a lot of videos and actually started reading some books about Elvis from the people who were closest to him. And then I found out he was actually a really cool dude. Definitely the king of cool, like people have said. And my interest has only grown. And I've been an Elvis fan now for a few years. And it only gets bigger. So, I don't know. First Elvis week, I'm happy to be here. Happy to meet Ginger. It's been a great time.
It's your first Elvis week?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So, you gonna be here for a few days?
Yeah, if you count yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I leave tomorrow.
You're leaving tomorrow. So it's been
it will have been a couple days.
It's been a great first Elvis week.
Yes. Yes, great.
And then you met us.
I met you guys.
To end it all, Ginger and then us. Yep. And this guy right here, Norm.
That guy, Norm. It's been a great week.
That's the best way to end it right there.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Tighten up.
Hey guys, we just finished an evening with Ginger Alden here in Memphis, Tennessee. 2 sold-out sessions. We had a blast.
We did have a great time. It's good to be back home.
We're going to have to do it again. But there's a lot of fans that were not able to make it due to COVID and also coming from Europe. Is there anything that you would like to say to the folks that couldn't make it?
Thank you for all your support and love for Elvis, and he would deeply appreciate it, and sorry that you missed it. We had a great time.
We'll see you guys maybe next year. Stay tuned.